Good day, and thank you for joining me for what I'm going to describe as a podcast, a multimedia approach to looking at what's going on in the town of Weston, particularly with its boards and committees. This is a kind of a unique opportunity for me as the town manager to share some of the things that are happening within the community, particularly things that have happened at recent meetings of like the select board, for example. So I'm here to talk to you as your town manager to tell you what happened at the select board meeting August 27th, 2024. We met at the police station in a hybrid format. The select board meeting is online at the town's website and will be visible through Weston Media, who is co-sponsor of this effort to bring this information to you here today. It started off with resident comments, and no residents were present for resident comments. We moved into a joint meeting with the Conservation Commission to discuss the Article 97 land swap needed for the water tank replacement project. There was a lot of discussion about that topic, as you would probably imagine. Ultimately, the Conservation Commission voted unanimously to seek Parcel 9 or a portion thereof at Case Estates in exchange for the land necessary to rebuild 3 brand new water tanks on what's currently Article 97 conservation land. So the select board, by majority vote, concurred with the request of the Conservation Commission, and we are moving forward on plans to present to the Commonwealth for those for that site. Speaking of water tanks, the town manager discussed, a new article potentially for town meeting. We are getting hit with concerns from the DEP over the current condition of our tanks. We've been trying to push those concerns off by telling them our plan is to replace the tanks. However, if the articles do not pass at the fall town meeting, our intention may be to bring forward an article to fund immediate repairs. It might buy us a couple of years worth of additional service out of the current tanks. It may not be the best way to handle this, but unfortunately we have to make sure that the water tanks are providing access to clean and drinkable water for the residents of Weston. And with the current age of the tanks, this causes me a lot of sleepless nights. So more to come on that issue. One of the projects that the select board is working on and that I'm working on are the issuance of some RFPs for the sale of the buildings at the Case Estates. These are the Case buildings, which are at 131 Wellesley Street and 133, 135 Wellesley Street. It's the old schoolhouse, it's the old barn, and it's the old home. So we are working through the parameters for the ultimate sale of those properties, which was contemplated with the purchase of the Case Estates property many years ago. So we are moving forward with that project, and hopefully we will be able to issue something very soon. We heard a request from the Council on Aging to add a position to the Recreation Master Plan Committee designated for the Council on Aging. The Select Board voted to approve that pending concurrence by the school committee, who also has a role in filling vacancies on the Recreation Master Plan Committee. We did make some amendments to the appointment policy. As you probably know, our newspaper has long gone, the Town Crier, and part of the policy that the town is operating under was a requirement that we had to post vacancies for boards and committees in the Town Crier, which doesn't exist anymore. So we did update that policy, changing also selectmen to select board, chairman to chair, removing some of the gender-specific language in the policy, but more importantly, explaining how we're going to advertise for boards and committee vacancies moving forward in the advent of a newspaper not in existence. By the way, if a newspaper does come back, we are more than happy to amend it back to what it was. We also had the opportunity as the town manager to hear comments on my performance as the town manager for the town of Weston, and the select board expressed their appreciation for the work that I have done for the town over the last year and have granted me a contractual increase, sort of a bonus. So I thank the select board for their continued support for me as their town manager. And I thank the residents for giving me a nice place to spend most of my days every single day. In the consent agenda, there were a handful of items of note that were also approved without discussion. Outside of the approval of minutes and some road closures for events, I can tell you that we received some gifts for the Art and Innovation Center that we've accepted. They approved a request from Landsake to change the rotation of one of the planned buildings on their property. That was approved. They concurred with a disclosure from our town council on a multi-town substance abuse coordinator position that they are opining on, and we concurred with their notification that there could be a conflict of interest, and we're fine with that. We have changed the parkland policy, specifically with respects to the fee for the banner that goes across Boston Post Road. When we adopted changes to it earlier this year, we noticed that we reverted back some old language on fees. So we are just correcting the fee for the banner that goes across Boston Post Road. We are approving a Comcast agreement for Brook School Apartments. It is a renewal contract to be signed by the town. And then finally, and probably most importantly, the select board voted in favor of a letter to be sent to the legislature, basically asking for a legislative fix based upon a special town meeting vote, which happened last year, to increase the age for retired police officers who wish to serve as a special police officer in our town. As you probably know or have heard if you attended that town meeting, we sometimes struggle to find police officers able to do extra jobs due to the amount of work that happens in the town of Weston. As a result of that, we are looking to be able to bring on, and we have brought on, retired police officers to serve as detail officers in the town of Weston. We would like to change, and town meeting approved, a change going from 65 years of age to 70 years of age, as long as they're physically capable of performing the task of being a detail officer. It does require a special act of the legislature, and the select board voted to send a letter of support to the legislature, who will be holding a hearing on that very soon. As I said from the beginning, this is a new way of providing information to the community about what happened at a lot of our important boards and committee meetings here in the town. And as the town manager, I'm happy to bring the news to you.